Hi guys, my name is Escapich and I am Moze main. When talking Moze, people think of grenade and splash damage build, which is currently nerfed and or bugged, and of your second one. Personally, I picked her because of two reasons: by the smack, which is a joke now, and the maximum duck cut. Let me introduce maybe not so powerful but perfectly viable and very fun build to you. This build is focused around gun damage, fire damage, crit damage, high rate of fire and never reloading, or almost never. We also have fetch shields to help us survive, but since Gearbox kind of forgot to add reliable ways of sustain to most, besides Vampire, which we don't use, we have to rely on shield regen, which can be interrupted by any random damage or dot, so it's not the tankiest build ever, and sometimes if you cannot kill your enemies fast enough, you'll have to kite them or use Iron Bear to survive. Alright, first the passive skills. The build is pretty straightforward, though it can be tweaked slightly, so let me show and explain what I personally find to be the best picks here. First of all, Cloud of Lead. It's bonus incendiary damage and ammo efficiency, so kind of an obvious pick here. Redistribution and Stoke the Embers, more incendiary damage, more ammo regen, all good. Then I put 1 point into matched set, more max size, which means redistribution and the forge will be more effective. And remember, we don't want to reload ever, right? Then Russian offensive, it doesn't increase our damage directly, but it's very good quality of life passive skill, in my opinion. Then obviously 5 points into Scorching RPMs, more fire rate, more critical hit damage, very good. The Iron Bank is pretty good too, again it increases the amount of time we can shoot without reloading, and it also increases effectiveness of redistribution and the forge. Next we pick one Some for the Road. It is very powerful skill for bossing. Don't sleep on this one, guys, it's really good. We don't put any points into click because first of all it's not that much damage, and second we don't really want to be low on max size. With all the regen, we don't really go low on bullets and max size, so actually I think this one should be reworked, but whatever. So we need to put few more points to reach Forge, and I personally love these points in matched set to increase our max size even further. So one Forge here, then we go into the Shield of Retribution, obviously. While shields are active, damage reduction and gun damage, all good, and since we're running Deathless build, if our shields are not active, we're dead. So this one, Armored Infantry, is active pretty much all the time. Next we go Droning and Brass, more gun damage, which is very powerful. 3 stacks, so at 3 stacks we'll have 60% gun damage. This is a very cool talent, a very powerful one. Next, experimental munitions, just nastier crits, and we actually put 1 point into a full can of Whoop-S. This might be questionable, but I think I like it. Our Iron Bear is oh shit button, and since we don't run Vampire here, the only way to sustain is to regen shields, so this one helps. We will have a very big shield pool, so increased shield recharge rate while in Iron Bear actually helps us to get full shields quickly. Next, Thin Redline, obviously, just make our shield fattier, make us tankier, so really powerful and obvious choice here. Next, Desperate Measures. We will have all but 1 health reserved, so Desperate Measures is always active, so it's 50% more gun damage straight up. Why not? behind the Iron Curtain. Again, we're not running a Vamp here. We really need shield recharge rate to increase our shield recharge rate. Since our shield pool is very good, is very high, and it takes quite some time to regenerate. So 1, 2, and we have 2 more points. They go into Phalanx Doctrine. It is 4% gun damage per stack and 6% max shields per stack, which sounds not that much, but like during mobbing, you will easily have like 5 stacks of Phalanx Doctrine pretty much all the time. So it's 20% extra gun damage, 30% extra max shields. It's a pretty good one for mobbing. Very good. We don't pick Force Feedback because it is very useless. It is literally the weaker version of Guardian rank skill. This one, killing an enemy triggers shield regeneration, like Gearbox. What the fuck were you thinking? But whatever. So, we don't pick a lot of Ingenuity here because we're on Transformer Shield. So, shock damage, we don't really need shock damage resistance, we don't care about shock damage at all. And I think you can tweak this build by putting some points into Scrappy instead of Matchet set. If you don't run shotguns like Butcher or Conference Hall, it actually might be better to put points into Scrappy to increase weapon swap speed. It's a good quality of life. Passive skill, so... And I think that's pretty much it. You can tweak it by putting points from Matchet set to Scrappy, but anything else doesn't sound that good. Everything else is pretty much mandatory, in my opinion. So, and for Iron Bear weapons, it's actually whatever. I just run Bear Fists just because they look cool. You're not going to use Iron Bear offensively. Iron Bear cannot do any significant damage at all on Mayhem 3. So it doesn't matter. You go into Iron Bear just to trigger full kind of whoop-ass, and like you spend few when you're low on shields, you go into Iron Bear, you spend few seconds in Iron Bear and go out with full shields. That's pretty much it. To show the mighty power of Dakka, let's compare Butcher with no gear and passives versus fully decked one. Sorry, Kevin. And goes. And goes. Still going. Still going. Pretty fucking cool, isn't it? Next is gear. Since this build is pretty much all about gun damage, it can run a lot of different guns very effectively, all of them. So let's start with gear. Shield is the Transformer. It is an obvious choice here, we don't run a lot of Ingenuity, so 100% shock damage resistance is very good. And also don't sleep on 40% chance to absorb bullets. It adds a lot of effective HP to our already big shield pool. You can run front load, you can equip front loader and get more shield number, but it will be less tanky than the Transformer. Even if you have like 5,000 more shields, it's not better than having 40% chance to absorb bullets. Next one is class mod. I'm actually running Epic class mod since we don't have legendary class mod for Bottomless Max 3. This one is pretty good. Plus 1 to redistribution helps with our ammo region even further, and 4 scorching RPMs. More fire rate means more damage, and also don't forget it adds more critical damage too. So this class mod adds a lot of damage to us. I also have good rolls on it, 31% assault rifle damage, and my primary gun is Shreddy Fire, and 36% shield recharge rate helps with survivability a little bit too. If you don't have these rolls, you can run something weaker, which will be perfectly fine too, like just general 25% weapon damage. Just get plus 1 redistribution and plus 4 scorching RPMs and you're set. Another option is also good old Bloodletter. especially the one with +3 to Desperate Measures. It adds a lot of gun damage. +2 to Phalanx Doctrine adds some damage too on mobbing. It since the patch, since the hotfix, it decreases shield recharge rate, and our build most sustainability is shield recharge, so it's not that great. But don't forget that Bloodletter also adds an option, gives you an option to restore your shields by picking up health pickups, which can be really helpful in some situations. So if you feel like running Bloodletter, go for it. It is perfectly viable. I personally love the Blazing Marksman though. Next is Artifact. It is obviously deathless to make our shields even bigger. There is really no other powerful option here, in my opinion. And yeah, if you have deathless, run it. Elemental Projector actually helps on bossing. 90% damage boost is significant. So, but I use it mostly just for Graveward to make it even faster, or for some other bosses too. Because during mobbing you should not set yourself on fire, because fire, like 3400 damage per second, will kill you. Remember, we're not the tankiest build of them all. And I have this nasty 40% max size on my artifact, which is just sweet. I love seeing big numbers. So big max size. It actually helps a lot with guns with smaller magazines, like the Butcher. It also has 17% assault rifle damage. So just roll with whatever damage type benefits your weapon of choice. 40% max size is very useful too. But if it is just deathless, if you don't have Elemental Projector deathless, run regular deathless. It will work just fine. And grenade is really not that important, so I use my grenade slot for self-ignite to proc Elemental Projector on bosses. It is Epicenter, it has 53% chance to ignite yourself. Pretty good. Again, fire dot actually hurts, but like Graveward doesn't do any damage to you anyway. You can also use Stormfront. It can actually be helpful during mobbing to strip enemies' shields, so maybe even to heal yourself through Transformer. It's still a good grenade. Maybe even Nerf hacks still can work, or reoccurring hacks. Whatever. It actually is not that important. And now guns. I'm gonna demonstrate some of them on Athena's Mayhem 3 neutral modifiers. First of all, my personal favorite, Shreddifier. Boy oh boy, this gun is amazing. This one is probably best in slot. It has kinetic and incendiary damage, so it destroys even fire-resistant mobs. Fires 2 bullets per shot, which is not a problem due to our crazy ammo regen. After exiting Iron Bear, the next 2 mags will have 40% incendiary damage, is best in slot anointment, and will have 100% uptime with our build. Don't forget to reactivate it if you swap weapons, but honestly, with sheer damage this thing provides, you can melt everything. You can see it destroying Malewan shields, Nox armor, everything in between. Here is Fire Shreddifier with no anointment. As you can see, it still shreds faces, even without double chain gun mod activated. But it struggles against fire-resistant enemies, so bring a backup weapon if you use this one, or something similar. Now, the mighty Butcher. Even after nerf, this gun still performs absolutely fine. Flash, shields, armor, who cares? Purity by fire at its finest. If you're running full Hyperion loadout and want to use a sniper rifle, Foot Blocker is your choice. This gun is actually on the weaker side, but works fine against regular mobs, so use it if you like it. Another option for corporate workers, another recently nerfed gun, Crossroads. Still very powerful option, 3 bullets per shot with burst fire means a lot of damage. Come close and personal to hit enemies with all bullets and you're set. Here it struggles with badass Nog's shield. But don't forget, Crossroad comes in all elements and surprise! Shock is effective against shields. These were my favorites, but this build will work with any high fire rate, high damage gun with more than few shots in magazine. Try Atlas Q system, Nighthawking, Chaos, the world is yours. Also don't forget about 40% incendiary damage anointment. This comes in handy. And now you ask me, alright, Escapage, but can this build run great for other bosses? And the answer is yes! Some for the Road opens up great opportunities for bossing, but less talking, more action. I'm gonna use good old Grave with Neutral Mayhem as a test dummy. I'll show off the damage and jump off the platform to reset his HP and keep modifiers. I will use Epicenter Grenade to ignite myself for Elemental Projector, but it will not always work. Let's keep it real. State-of-the-art Shreddy Fire. The damage is here as you can see. Fire Super Shreddy Fire. It just works. Fire Crossroad works just fine too. Who would have thought, right? Fire Butcher works very well. Let me just ignite myself. Ignite? Ignite? Whatever. I don't need Elemental Projector for this one. Honorable mentions. Conference Call, not as powerful and sexy as it used to be, but still good, especially when you can hit enemy with multiple chunks of its pellets. And Luda, destroys even after nerf. By the way, it's Luda guys, not Lyuda, it's Luda. Also this one is pretty mediocre. X21 will destroy shit even faster. And now you say, alright, Escapage, the guns are okay, can do damage, but I want to kill Grave in 10 seconds, even with bad modifiers like all those cool kids on YouTube do. Oh sugar, I got something for you. He mentioned something interesting. Torg is pursuing new research. He claims what they're doing in Slaughter Star is the missing piece, a weapon to surpass Metal Gear, the Potent Quickie. This gun shoots 2 gyro jets, which increase damage by 55% each. It consumes 2 ammo per shot with max size of 3, but with some for the road, you can fire this beast without reloading for 5 seconds. So, let me just show it to you guys. other Torgut stickies work just fine too, even with no points in the Demolition Woman. Take a look at the Alchemist. Or here's a red line. This one is kinetic, by the way, still works just fine. That's it for this video, now go and spread some dakka. And don't forget to like, screw it, just obey.